Burning rubber, tires screaming, engines go berserk. Pit stop precision like surgeons at work. Wheel to wheel, hands on the grip, no chill. Broadcast live, PeaceMaker keeping it real. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. 360 on the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. PeaceMaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. On the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. PeaceMaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Yeah. From amateurs to legends, it's all the same heat. One wrong move might sweep defeat. High octane stakes climb mile by mile. PeaceMaker's mic hot, adding flames to the style. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. Greasy, the grind stay greasy. 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 Yeah. Burning rubber, tires screaming, engines go berserk. Pit stop precision like surgeons at work. Wheel to wheel, hands on the grip, no chill. Broadcast live, PeaceMaker keeping it real. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. 360 on the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. PeaceMaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. On the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. PeaceMaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Yeah. From amateurs to legends, it's all the same heat. One wrong move might sweep defeat. High octane stakes climb mile by mile. PeaceMaker's mic hot, adding flames to the style. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. Greasy, the grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rock and roll here this evening with the Wheel to Wheel Racing League, as it is their penultimate race of the season, the second to last race here for all of these amazing wheel to wheel drivers here this evening. And already the championship is locked up. We do know that the number 16, Matthew Wood, has claimed this championship. He is our championship winner here this season, but it is going to come right down to the wire. We're going to see a lot of great racing and drivers still trying to to move themselves a little farther forwards here in the standings. Obviously, fairly tight. Evan Stewart holds on to second there. He's got only about, 18 points between himself and Zach Clater, but tight there between Clater and Wyatt Mickelson for third. Haller sits in position number 5 here, so for Ryan Haller trying to work his way into a top 5 run here in the point standings. We see Nick Biddy, Bogart, Zach Perry, Applegate's back there in 9th, Aiden Lucas rounding out our top 10. It's Keegan Huey and Jordan Fisher round out our playoff field here coming into our penultimate race this evening. Still a lot of points on the table for drivers to try to claim, try to work themselves into a better position here at the end of the season. Is Anna, what's good, Anna? Anna says Matthew Wood. She thinks Matthew's finding his way into victory lane. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you guys jump into the comments section right now. Let us know who you're cheering for, who you think will find victory lane here this evening, as we'll get these drivers ready to rumble, ready to roll out onto the speedway. And starting on the pole in that 16 ride, it is our inaugural season champion, the 16 of Matthew Wood. To his outside, that is the HendrickCars.com number 51 of Wyatt Mickelson, starting back in third. That is the NJBDesigns.com 18 ride of Noah Blackwell. To his outside, the 1776 of Motorsports number 97. That is Caleb Holloman starting in position number 5. In the 5 ride, in the plush machine, that is Zay, Mr. Xavier Ruggle-Bruggy starting there in that 5th position. To his outside is that 32 and Nick Biddy in the Nick Biddy Designs number 32 machine, as he'll start there in 6th, starting back in 7th. In another one of those 1776 Motorsports rides, it is the 17 ride, the Flex Seal machine of Jason Bogart. To his outside in the G Loomis number 6, that is Mr. Joe David, and starting back in position number 9. In the AG Designs number 74, that is Jaden Porter. They're in that 9th position. To his outside, starting in 10th in the Ronald McDonald ride, that is the beautiful looking machine here, the McDonald's machine, the Hamburglar out there. That is Ryan Haller starting there in 10th. Starting back in the 11th position in the Flex Seal number 19 ride, that is Mr. Jordan Fisher. To his outside in the number 14 ride here this evening. That is the 14 Finley Farms ride of Grant Applegate. Then we see Caden Gargiulo and Evan Stewart there in the AG's Designs 37. They're in 14th. Then Keegan Huey bringing up the rear of the field in the Klein Tools number 38. So 15 drivers here, 134 laps of racing action here this evening. It's quickly Matthew Wood onto the loud pedal as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation as we are quickly green flag racing here at the beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway as the 16 of Matthew Wood out in front and hoping to try to open up a bit of a lead between himself and that 18 of Noah Blackwell. Blackwell trying to hang right there with them as they battle nice and easy down and through corner number 3 and out of 4. Blackwell's right there on his back bumper, now looking to the inside, but down across the line, leading lap number 1 here this evening. It is Matthew Wood. So Matthew leads the first lap of the day. Here in this one is Blackwell right there in second, still hassling, now looking to the outside, looking for a big run out at corner number 2. Wyatt Mickelson there in third as we do see Blackwell able to take that run, that speed, that momentum, and work the 18 ride now to the point. So Noah Blackwell out in front. Matthew Wood sits there in second. Mickelson back in third. We do see the fine drive of Xavier Ruggle-Bruggy. Xavier looking to try to work his way up and around the 51 of Wyatt Mickelson for that third position. So Zay early on trying to make some moves here as Bogart down low looking to make the move around his 1776 Motorsports teammate, the 97 Holloman, for that 5th position. Nick Biddy down a spot there in 7th has Jaden Porter and Jordan Fisher right there with them as Fisher unfortunately here missed a lot of these races. Looked to be one of our championship hopefuls here on the season. Unfortunately did not get to run a lot of these playoff races, and that's got him back at the rear of our playoff standings here, but looking to have a good strong run here at our penultimate race. And Joe David there rounding out our top 10. For Evan Stewart, Evan has been pretty consistent, pretty solid here throughout these playoffs, and right now he does sit second in the playoff standings, so that's not a bad spot there for that number 37 ride as he's looking to work his way inside the top 10. Has worked his way now around Joe David for that 10th position. Haller right there in position number 12 with Keegan Huey, Applegate, and Keaton Gargiulo bringing up the rear of the field here in this one as Gargiulo just looking to have a solid, strong run here in that beautiful Team Watson Racing setups. Number 7 ride as he's back in that 15th position. But early on here, it's all about tires. Really, this track can eat up tires. It can chew tires up in a quick hurry. So if you're a little harder on the throttle, if you're using up those tires early in the run, you're going to pay the price later in the run. You're going to start to fall back. The drivers who are saving tires will start to move more and farther forward, in which case they can make some moves, they can make some changes, and try to work themselves up and in front of you before the end of the stage. But if you can take care of those tires, if you can get some big runs, find that big run, and hope to find that extra little bit of speed, potentially you can navigate your way up and into the, far enough in front that you have a big enough lead that you can try to run away with it here in this one. So we'll have to wait and see what the call is here for these drivers. Obviously, early on, Noah Blackwell, Xavier Rugglebrugge, they are on the throttle. They are rolling strong here. They're not backing down. They're not moving an inch out there on the racetrack. And with that being said, we see that the a couple of these other drivers, when we look back at Ryan Mickelson, Matthew Wood, they're a whole lot more off the throttle here, taking it easy at the start of this run. And you do see Jordan Fisher work his way up and into that 5th position. So Fisher, he's on to the front here, looking to make the move now around the 16 of Matthew Wood. Does Matthew start to worry about it now, whether or not this strategy is going to play out perfectly for him, or if we're going to see more and more of these drivers maybe start to take it a little easier, as we do see the caution flag fly. Yellow flag is out. Looks like Jaden Porter going to go for a spin here, and the yellow flag will be displayed early on this evening. So that's a tough break. Let's take a look here and see what happens. So we see Jaden Porter battling with the 14 of Applegate right there, and they just make contact. So Applegate to the inside. I'm not sure if one of them comes up, the other one kind of comes down. Let's take another look at it, see if we can get another angle and see the contact here between the 74 and that 14. So you see the 14, he's down on the apron there, starts to wash up the racetrack. So a good run coming for the 14 ride, and on corner exit, looks like the 74 kind of gets straightened out. The 14 still kind of coming up, expecting him to go more towards the wall. And unfortunately, they just run out of racing room. And for Jaden Porter, that is going to spin him around, and he's going to wash down the racetrack. Ends up making some pretty solid contact here in that inside fence. That is a heartbreaker right there for him, as pretty good hit early on. Luckily enough, not too much damage. Should get that car down pit side, get that damage repaired, get back out onto the speedway and ready to rock and roll, this time from a little deeper in the field, as we'll get everyone stacked up, racked up, ready to duke it out here again. Everyone's ready to go back to battle, as we know that there is going to be a couple stage breaks. So ooh, a little fake out right there. Thought maybe for a second we'd see Matthew Wood come down pit road, but he decides not to. Stays out, keeps on rolling, and here we go. He ends up jumping in here, and he stays out on the racetrack. But we do see Applegate. He's going to come down pit side. We see Keegan Huey. Jason Bogart comes down pit road. Jaden Porter obviously down pit side, looking to get that car some more repairs done to that 74 machine, as he'll get ready to roll back out there and keep on battling here this evening. But for the 18 ride, Noah Blackwell's down on the apron. There's a lot of dirt down there, man. That's a dirty portion of the apron. Could pick up a lot of bad stuff, and unfortunately, getting too much of it could potentially cause some issues here on the restart for the 18. So we've got to clean those tires off and get ready for this restart here this evening, as Blackwell and Xavier Rugglebrugge 1 and 2 out there on the speedway. For all the Zay fans in the stands, let them know that you're watching. Let them know that you're cheering him on here this evening. Jump into the comment section right now with a hashtag plush or a hashtag Zay in the chat if you're watching and cheering on Xavier Rugglebrugge here this evening. If you're cheering on Matthew Wood, jump into the chat with the hashtag champ in the chat, as Matthew is our champion here on the season. He doesn't even have to finish this race. He doesn't even have to show up for the next race. He is already locked in. Mathematically, no one can catch him. No one can pass him. He is our champion here in our inaugural season with the Wheel to Wheel Racing League, as everybody will get ready to roll. Everyone will get ready to rumble, as we'll get back to the racing action here in just a couple more seconds as the lights should turn off. The official iRacing pace car this time. There they go. So the lights are off. Drivers will get ready to get lined up and back the battle here. But now, already 10 laps into this race, we have a stage break at the completion of lap number 30, which means when we go back to green flag racing, it'll be about a 19-lap run here to that checkered flag, or at least the green and white checkered flag, to end this stage. Now, do we see drivers that were maybe a little bit easier on their tires start to use them up here? Potentially Matthew Wood, Wyatt Mickelson, some of these guys that were a little bit more cool, calm, and collective there on the initial start. Didn't really move forward, kind of fell back a little bit, but looked like they were trying to push their car as much as everybody else. We'll have to wait and see if that is the case here for these drivers in the second row, as we'll get them stacked up, racked up, ready to rumble, ready to roll here once again. Do we see any tires potentially getting put on for drivers like the 17 of Jason Bogart, potentially Keegan Huey, Applegate, Jaden Porter, maybe trying to make some different strategy calls here, maybe trying to just have a pair of scuffs back behind pit wall for later in this race and trying to take advantage of some fresh tires right now. It is going to be an interesting one as here we go down through corner number 4. Pace car will make the hard left-hand turn and into the Geico restart zone here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as the number 18 of Blackwell elects to use the outside lane for the restart. Gets a great launch, a big jump right there for the 18 and for Noah Blackwell. He's hoping to try to open up a bit of an early lead here between himself and that number 5 ride of Xavier Rungo Bruggies. Xavier rolls there in position number 2, trying to keep all these drivers back there at bay, and he's hoping to go after this 18 for the first stage win of the evening. Is Matthew Wood back there in third? Does he have anything left in the tank? Was he holding something back here for this moment in time? He knows that there's 18 laps left to go here in this stage. If you're going to use up these tires early, you're not going to try to get as many points as possible. And I know for Matthew, even though he's already locked in as our champion, this 16 car still wants to find victory lane, still wants to win another race, and he's already won 14 races on the season. I know the 16 ride would love to try to win this race in the next race. Trying to win 16 races on the season in that 16 car is definitely something I think he's going to be looking to strive for. So everyone else is going to have to be on their tippy toes and try to keep him out of victory lane as we see contact back there behind him. Look out, Nick Biddy around up the racetrack. Hard contact. Nowhere to go for Bogarts. Nowhere to go for Joe David as a bunch of drivers get tore up here into corner number 1. Big contact. Big wreck out there on the racetrack as the yellow flag will be displayed. Let's take a look at it as it looks like it starts with Nick Biddy and the number 19 rider Jordan Fisher. So Biddy here trying to find a good run, trying to find a good lane. Let's see if we can get another angle at this one. So he gets a rough exit right there. It allows the 19 rider to get a big run down the inside. And then all of a sudden, I don't know if it's 19 coming back up the racetrack right here off the apron. 32 rides hung in that white line right here. He even moves up a little bit. The 19 comes back onto the racetrack. Unfortunately, as he does, he is not clear of the 32. Drives right into the left rear there of Nick Biddy. Now, Biddy's just trying to hang on to it, trying to keep this car pointed the right direction, but he didn't really have a whole lot of time to get onto the binders, and at such a weird angle, even the 19 ride washes back up the racetrack, but here comes the 32. Up the speedway, right into the lap of Jason Bogarts. They wash up into the 6th ride of Joe David, and there's a lot of contact there, a lot of damage for all 3 of these drivers. Man, those were some big hits early on this evening, and for this 32 ride, man, really not a whole lot that he could do. He's just trying to keep this thing out of trouble, and all of a sudden trouble finds him here in this one. Look at the contact right there, and then back to the track, he's got it locked down. Unfortunately, just so much speed momentum into corner number 1. There's really nothing he could do. And for Bogart, for Joe David, these guys are just trying to keep themselves out of it. Let's see if we can jump on board here with Bogart. Bogart's going to get a great look at it. He sees the contact between the 2 of them right there. There's the initial contact between the 32 and the 19. 32's down the apron, and all of a sudden, here he comes back at the speedway, and man, that's how quickly things can go wrong. And look at the 74 ride of Jaden Porter somehow squeezing through here. How does Porter get through this? My gosh, that was a close call here for the 74. Let's take a look here. see what happens. So he's a little ways away, sees all the contact, the chaos happening. He's trying to get checked up, and luckily enough, right there, able to squeeze through it. Doesn't look like he gets any contact. We did see also the 19 ride. We talked about having all that speed and momentum and pushing up the racetrack for the 32. The same goes for the 19 ride here, as unfortunately for Jordan Fisher, he's going to just make this contact. He's going to get into the 32 ride. 32 starts to go around. They both get pushed down onto the apron. Then watch him. He watches up the track, trying to get checked up. Unfortunately, ends up hard contact into the fence there himself. Heavy hit there for the Fish as well. So Fisher ends up with some pretty solid contact and damage. We did see not Jaden Porter, but the 37 of Evan Stewart in the 7 ride here get tied together, as well as Caden Gargiulo trying to get checked up here. Season 19 come up the track. The 14 ride's checking up. They make contact. Luckily enough, they bounce off each other a couple of times. Maybe a little bit of cosmetic damage for both drivers, but luckily enough, they both keep themselves in the battle and in the hunt here at the front, as we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to battle, ready to duke it out here once again this evening, as we'll see the lights turn off the official iRacing pace car. This time, Noah Blackwell elects to use the inside lane, and now when we go back to Green Flag Racing, it's going to be 14 laps to the end of this stage, so 14 laps to try to navigate your way to the front, to try to find something and work yourself towards the front of the field here, as I do believe Jordan Fisher has taken his car off of the speedway here. Fisher has taken his car back down behind pit wall for Joe David. Still a ton of damage there for that 6 ride. Looks like it has been repaired. He's getting ready to roll back out onto the racetrack. Our race leader is getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing, though, for Joe David. That extended period of time down pit side, he has lost a couple of laps here, so that's a tough break for Joe David, but luckily enough, a couple of stage breaks still on the horizon, potentially more caution flags, could work himself back onto the lead lap and back into this race, so we'll have to keep an eye on that 6 ride and see if he can work himself into this one, as Antoinette says, let's go Xavier, the plush car number 5, cheering on that plush machine here this evening, as everybody coming in cheering on their favorite drivers here in this one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for them as here we go back to Green Flag Racing, our second restart of the evening, and this time down on the inside, a great launch and a great restart for Noah Blackwell. Got a little help there with the 16 of Matthew Wood right there with him, and Wood pushes him out in front. Unfortunately for Xavier, not the restart that he was hoping for there. Kind of got a little hung up, caught sleeping there ever so slightly, loses that second position, falls back into third. He'll look to try to hang on to this Caleb Holloman. Wyatt Mickelson right there, round out our top 5. Now here comes Caden Gargiulo. Gargiulo up on the high side, looking for a big run, trying to work himself inside the top 5 and around this 51 machine of Wyatt Mickelson, as Noah Blackwell still hanging on to the race lead down across the line with 12 laps left to go. Here in stage number 1, so stage number 1 here this evening about to come to a close here in this one, man, and that's going to make for a lot of fun here this evening, as we know that the 16 of Matthew Wood, he wants to win another stage. He wants to maybe extend his points lead even more here on the evening. We'll have to wait and see what he's got in store, what he's got up his sleeve, and if he can make some moves to try to put himself into that position to potentially try and win this stage. We'll see if he can make it. We saw him saving tires early on in the initial run here in the evening, so maybe potentially trying to save that little bit of tire, trying to save that extra little bit here this evening may open up the door here for that 16 to make a late race charge and drive themselves up and into a stage win, as Blackwell just looking to hold strong here. 10 laps left in this stage. You see Xavier right there with them as he rolls back into that third position, gets tight to the back bumper of that 16 right of Matthew Wood. Unfortunately washes up the track there a little bit down through 1 and 2. He'll fall back into position number 3 still, as Caleb Holloman and Evan Stewart now round out our top 5, but Stewart still has Wyatt Mickelson battling down low here. Mickelson, he's not done yet. He's still battling. He's still fighting here. He wants to be able to try to stay inside the top 5, trying to earn some more points here himself on the season, trying to work his way potentially into a podium run here for the championship. I think it's going to be a little too much for him to be able to catch that 37 right at Evan Stewart in the championship points, but he could potentially work himself into position number 3 here in those point standings. As Noah Blackwell continues to lead the way, Blackwell out in front, showing these drivers how to get it done here in this one. As the lights are on and these drivers, they are on their throttle. They are on their A-game, hoping to try to find themselves a way up and in to potentially a winning situation here this evening, or at least trying to win this stage. All these drivers, they know that they're more than likely coming down pit road at the completion of this stage. They're going to get fuel. They're probably going to get tires, so they're going to come down pit side nonetheless. You've got to use everything up right here. If you got any tire left over, use it to your advantage. Use it right now to try and work yourself a little farther forward, a little closer to the front of the field, as we do see Evan Stewart up and into 4th. Wyatt Mickelson stays there in 5th as Caleb Hallman slides back now into position number 7. We see Haller right there. He's trying to race his way up towards the front. David Keegan Huey up 6 positions out there on the Speedway for the 38 ride, as he now sits in position number 9. But it's all Matthew Wood out in front here as he's able to take that race lead away for a split second from the 18 ride of Noah Blackwell. Blackwell still trying to hang on to it, but for the number 16 of Matthew Wood, he's trying to take it away. They're running tight together. They're not going to give an inch. They're not going to back down from one another, and it's going to get tight here at the front of the field late in this race as here comes Zay. Here comes Evan Stewart. They're looking to get their way into this battle. They're looking to poke their nose into this fight here at the front of the field as Anna says, come on, Matthew. Cheering on Matthew here, trying to win this stage. Only 5 laps left to go here in stage number 1 this evening. So 5 laps left here in stage number 1, and Matthew Wood is there. He is working to the outside here of Blackwell. Blackwell's not going to give it up, though. He's going to battle hard here for position number 1 on the racetrack, trying to win this stage. Is Zay right there with him. Zay up the racetrack, rolling that extreme high side, looking for a little something, looking for that extra little bit of a drive here in this one as Blackwell and Wood door to door down across the line. They click up another lap. That gets us a little closer here to potentially seeing 16 ride to win this stage if he can get that run, if he can find that drive that he needs to be able to pick off this 18 ride. But Blackwell sticking right with them, arrow tight here as they both push door to door, trying to side draft, trying to get his every little bit that they can here late in this stage. I don't know if Matthew's just playing with his food right now or if Blackwell's just giving him that much of a run for his money here in this one. But as they continue to battle door to door, it's bringing that 5 ride of Xavier Rongobroggi, the 37 Evan Stewart right into the picture, and there we go, down and out of corner number 2. Matthew's able to keep his foot in the throttle, and it's Matthew Wood who now jumps up and into the top position. So Matthew now out in front is here comes the 18 and the 5 ride. They're running out of time, is down across the line. It will be 2 laps left to go here in this stage. So 2 laps left here in stage number 1 this evening, and it's all Matthew Wood here at the front of the field. He was able to finally clear that 18 ride. Now starting to pull away from him as everyone trying to navigate their way to the end here. We do see Caleb Holloman ends up into the outside fence. Looked like him and the 17 teammates out there running into issues. Now luckily enough, they're both able to keep on rolling. They both get back into the throttle, and they both start to pick up that speed here once again as here we go. Matthew Wood, nice and easy. Down to the final time here in stage number 1 into corner number 1. Nice and easy out of corner number 2, just keeping that 18 right. Noah Blackwell back there at bay. He does scrub the outside fence ever so slightly, so scrubbing that wall, that is going to open up the door here for Blackwood down low. Blackwood down to the bottom, makes a big move, a big run. They're going to drag race back to the line. Contact! The 18 ride gives it to the 16 gives it to the 18. Matthew Wood will win the stage. But for Noah Blackwell, he goes around. Heavy hit, heavy contact right there for him. That was a big, big hit. That was a big uh-oh moment right there for Matthew Wood and Noah Blackwell as the stage comes to an end. They're battling hard. They're not giving an inch out there on the Speedway. Let's take another look at it, see what happens as, man, this is a tight race, tight battle. And unfortunately for Noah Blackwell, he gets the worst end of it. We saw the 16 ride make contact into the back straightaway fence. It killed all the speed and momentum. It opened up the door here for Blackwell. He shoots it deep down low on the bottom side. He gets a great run. It hugs that white line and washes just in front of the 16. Now Matthew with a good run on corner exit gets back to his rear bumper, gives him a shot right there. And as he does, it just gets the 18 ride loose. I'm not sure if Matthew was trying to cut down low underneath of him. Nonetheless, for the 16, Matthew Wood gets into him right there, and it just gets the 18 ride loose, washes up the racetrack, ends up making hard contact here with that outside fence. Big hit there for the 18 machine as he bounces off the wall. He'll wash back down the racetrack here. Now, luckily enough, Zay's able to get around him. The 37 to Evan Stewart avoids him, and everyone else stays clear of that 18 as he goes flying down through the infield here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. He'll look to rebound. You'll have to try to get this car fixed up. Heavy right front damage here. And for Noah Blackwell, he'll definitely have to get down pit road, probably use a quick repair up early in this race to get that 18 ride fixed up and back into the battle here this evening as everybody is going to navigate their way down pit side. So here comes Blackwell. You see Jaden Porter right there in front of him. Applegate there as well. I do believe Joe David will get the wave around to the lucky dog. Back here, at least getting a lap back in this race. I do believe that should put him to one lap down here in this one. Alrighty, shout out as well to Dennis Hamlin. Dennis picking up the win in the real NASCAR race there at Las Vegas just a few moments ago. Congratulations to Denny Hamlin, able to win there in Vegas. Larson comes home in second. Christopher Bell comes home in third with Briscoe and Rennick are top five. Logano somehow snakes through for a sixth-place finish after a tough hit for William Byron. A bad penalty there for Chase Elliott. A big hit for Ryan Blaney. That puts them into a tough spot going into our couple few races left to go here in the season. So right now it's looking like potentially Hamlin obviously locked into that championship race in Phoenix in a few weeks' time. But for Larson, has a pretty decent gap between himself and the cut line. Bell, Briscoe, they're right there as well. They could potentially work their way into the show as well. And what that would mean for Joe Gibbs, man, potentially having three drivers move on into the championship race, making Larson the odd duck out there in that one. That would be tough for him. We'll have to wait and see if Byron can battle back. He looked good all night long, man. And then that late race hit between him and Ty Dillon as Ty Dillon was coming down pit road but never lit Byron. No, Byron ran right into the back of him. Big hit there for Willie B. But for Hamlin, picks up the win, and he picks up an opportunity to race for a championship here. Still hunting down his first. I don't know if he'll get it. It's definitely going to be interesting to see if Hamlin can finally break through and win a championship. I do know that this was his 60th win of his career. I do believe that's the 10th winningest driver in NASCAR history. So you got to give the man his flowers when he deserves them, man. Heck of a run there. Xana says, go, Matthew, go. As Carol says, go, Xavier. Aunt Carol says, go, Xavier, here this evening. And Xana says, woohoo, cheered on Matthew there after a big run and a big drive there, winning that stage. And Rodney in the chat as well. What's good, Mr. Stewart? How are you, Rodney? Rodney coming in says, let's go, Evan. Cheer on Evan here this evening. Mr. Stewart rolls right there in that third position as we get ready to go back to green flag racing here in this one. Matthew Wood, Xavier Rungle-Brugge, 1 and 2 out there on the Speedway as we get ready to set them back loose here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. As Wood, nice and easy, down to speed here. He's going to follow along with our official iRacing pace car, but pace car will make that hard left-hand turn back down pit side, unleashing the field back into the hands of the 16 as down through the Geico restart zone. He times it perfectly, gets a great launch, a great jump right there over the 5 ride of Zay. Zay, unfortunately, caught sleeping there a little bit again on that restart. Unfortunately for the 5 ride, he'll slide back into that third position as Evan Stewart up and into position 2 here in this race as this is our penultimate race of the season, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is our second to last race here of the season, meaning that next Sunday is our season finale. We already know Matthew Wood has claimed this championship, but for Evan Stewart, he's trying to win second here in that championship battle. He's trying to keep all of his other playoff flappers back there behind him. We know Mickelson, he's trying to race his way up into potentially a top 3 run here in the championship. You see Haller, he's worked his way into 5th here in the championship hunt. See if he can try to work himself maybe up into 4th or hang on for a top 5 here in the points standings, as everybody is looking to try to keep themselves in a great direction through this evening. As Tyler Humphrey, what's good, Mr. Humphrey, says stream is looking way better. I appreciate that, brother, coming in showing the love here in this one. That's exactly what we're hoping for. That's exactly what we plan on seeing here, you know, race after race, and going to YouTube only may give us that big opportunity to really make it, so that way it is just non-stop great quality, great amazing looks here at these race cars, and that way you guys can get the best picture, the best racing, and the best, you know, available broadcast that we can. And obviously doing the multi-stream, when we were over on Facebook, we were over on Twitch, it kind of throttled back what we could do. Now here alone on YouTube, we can open it wide open here. We could actually probably make these even better. We could probably stream 4K. I just haven't tried it yet. We may try a test stream or two, maybe tomorrow or the next day. Maybe not tomorrow. Tomorrow's actually my birthday, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow is my birthday, turning 31 tomorrow, ladies and gents. 31 tomorrow. So that means that, you know, we are going to be probably celebrating our birthday. I don't know if me and the friends or anyone have plans. I don't know what we're doing, if we're going to go out for dinner or not. I do have to work tomorrow, so I will be working from probably 7 till 6 probably tomorrow, so I'm not sure if we will end up going out or not, but I do know nonetheless we will get an opportunity to celebrate my birthday a little bit, whether or not it's by myself or if I just hop on stream and hang out with you guys, something like that. But we will be celebrating our 31st birthday tomorrow and hold up here in the booth chat as Matthew Wood continues to hold down the top spot. Matthew out in front, Evan Stewart right there in second. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you haven't already, make sure you guys do us a favor here. Hit the like button on the stream right now. Hit the thumbs up button for us. Make sure you hit the like on the broadcast. Drop a comment or two for us as well. Wish me a happy birthday in the comment section right now. And make sure you hit that subscribe button. Become part of the PeaceMaker family here today. Become part of the PeaceMaker family. Help celebrate my birthday, as tomorrow we turn 31. Become part of the PeaceMaker family. Never miss any amazing racing action here on PeaceMaker Gaming. Out in front, it is Mr. Wood, who continues to lead the way. Wood out in front is 40 laps down. Still a lot of racing left to go here this evening from Las Vegas Motor Speedway's Evan Stewart rolls there in position number 2, and that beautiful breast cancer awareness number 37 ride. Xavier Rungelbroggy rolls there in position number 3 on the Speedway with Wyatt Mickelson there in position number 4. He continues to look for more as Nick Biddy there in 5th. Noah Blackwell back in that 6th position with Jason Bogart, Grant Applegate, Caden Gargiulo, and Ryan Haller rounding out our top 10 here on the Speedway. Caleb Holman rolls there in 11th with Keegan Huey, Jaden Porter, our top 3 here on the Speedway. Joe David, still the first car 1 lap down after on the racetrack. Joe hoping for a little extra something here, hoping to see the next stage come to a close or potentially another caution flag that could potentially put him back onto the lead lap, back into this race after a big hit, a heavy hit there in that first stage for the 6th ride. Luckily enough, able to still compete and battle here this evening for Jordan Fisher. Unfortunately, it ended his night. He is looking at 19 right back down behind pit wall and out of this race. As some absolutely amazing battling here this evening, as out in front it's Matthew Wood, who continues to just show his dominance here in the series, just show how good he is and why he is our inaugural season champion. Here with still 2 races left to go, this is the penultimate race. He has already locked himself in as our champion. No one can beat him, no one can catch him, no one can take this win in the championship away from Matthew Wood here this season. As Matthew rolls out in front, Evan Stewart, who's looking to come home in second in the point standings, rolls rolling there right in second position with Xavier Rungelbrugge still rolling back there in that third position. Zay looking for a solid run here in that plush number 5 ride as he rolls there in position number 3. Wyatt Mickelson there in position number 4, continuing to look for more as we do see Noah Blackwell. Blackwell, after having that contact at the end of the stage, made contact between him and Matthew Wood. It really set this 18 ride back. It really took him for a ride down the front straightaway where he ended up getting some massive damage on this 18 machine. He was able to use his team to be able to get some damage repaired. They did a very good job at it. They've got this car back to brand new, and luckily enough for the 18 ride, he's able to battle back into this race, back into contention here this evening, but he still has to make up all this track position that he had given up. So for the 18 ride, he was battling for the stage win at the completion of lap number 30 here on lap 46. He finds himself back in that 6th position, holding strong and looking good out there after celebrating 4 years of iRacing painting for the NJPDesigns.com number 18 machine. Applegate right behind him, the Findlay Farms number 14 ride rolls there in that 7th position, looking strong out there on the speedways. We do see the Guardian ride, that beautiful Team Watson setups machine of Aiden Gargiulo, rounding out our top 8 with Jason Bogart and his Flex Seal 1776 Motorsports ride there in 9th. And Ryan Haller in that beautiful McDonald's, the Hamburglar ride, looking to Hamburglar a couple more points here this evening, hoping to try to work his way maybe a little closer to our champion, maybe try to work himself up and into 4th here in the championship points, or just trying to hold serve, staying inside the top 5 here for our championship standings here this season as Haller rolls there in that 10th position. Keegan Huey, Caleb Holloman right there behind him. Porter back there in that beautiful AG Designs number 74 ride, looking fresh out there on the speedway, just trying to keep himself in this battle, trying to keep himself in the hunt here towards the front, trying to keep that car alive for late in this race. Is down across the line. Our race leader Matthew Wood now opens up about an 8/10 of a second lead, 8/10 of a second between himself and Evan Stewart. So for Matthew Wood, he's trying to stretch out that race lead, trying to pull farther and farther away from the rest of the field, as we do see Nick Biddy looking to make the move around the 5 ride of Rungelbrugge. Zay able to battle back down to the inside though. That was a close call. So 32 just cleared the nose of the 5 machine, and Zay crosses him over. A perfect battle here as he will jump right down to the inside. They'll stay door to door down the front straightaway, but a great run out of corner number 4 for that 32 machine. And it looks like Nick Biddy will move up and into position number 3. Now here comes Wyatt Mickelson. Mickelson looking to make that move around the outside as well. Looks like the HendrickCars.com number 51 will slide up and into position number 4 as he saw Noah Blackwell bounce it off the outside fence. That was a pretty sizable hit right there for the 18 machine. That was a big hit, a good piece of contact, and now he's looking to try to navigate his way around that 5 right, trying to put that flush machine outside the top 5. As of right now, is Blackwell trying to battle his way back towards the front. Applegate trying to get there for the first time here this evening, as 51 laps already done here this evening, as Anna says, happy early birthday, Peacemaker. I appreciate that, and I appreciate that. Show the love here in this one, celebrating our birthday here a day early, but celebrating the birthday. We appreciate that. Anna coming in, showing the love here in this one. Is 31 years old tomorrow, chat. 31 years old, our birthday tomorrow. And if you guys want to help us out and help us with our birthday wish, man, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers here on PeaceMaker Gaming. Share the broadcast out to your friends, your family, over on your Facebook, share it out to your Discords or Twitter or anything else, and try to bring in more fans in the stands here to enjoy some amazing racing here with the Wheel to Wheel Racing League, but also trying to help us hit that 2,000 subscriber goal here on PeaceMaker Gaming. And for our 31st birthday, I think it'd be really cool if we could hit maybe get a little closer to that goal, a little closer to that 2,000 subscribers here on YouTube. As Matthew Wood out in front, able to hang on to the race lead. Still has about 8/10 of a second between himself and Evan Stewart. Wyatt Mickelson now battling here with Nick Biddy for position number 3 on the speedway. They're almost 3 wide out there on the speedway as the 5 ride of Zay putting his nose right back into this battle as Nick Biddy trying to hold on to 3rd. Wyatt Mickelson looking to take it away from him as Zay's poking his nose right there into the battle as Mrs. Holler, sure Holler coming in, show the love, says hi everyone, says happy birthday, peace, happy birthday to me. I appreciate that, Mrs. Holler. I appreciate that. Show the love here in this one. Mrs. Holler coming in, wishing us a happy birthday as well. Shout out there to Mrs. Holler and Anna, both always coming in, showing the great love here each and every one of these broadcasts, especially when they get to see their favorite drivers out there on the racetrack with Matthew Wood out there on the Speedway and Mr. Holler out there as well, as Holler right now rolls in the 11th position, just trying to survive here for the first half of this race, knowing that this is a longer race, a long race here. They got time, they got opportunities to try to push forward or fall back or try to make some moves and work themselves into frame here for potentially a late race charge and maybe a move for the win here is down across the line for Matthew Wood. He'll complete lap number 56. And now stage number 2 is going to come to a close here, I do believe, on lap number 65. So for these drivers, they know that this stage is about to end once again. They're getting down to the end of it. There's going to be more points handed out for any of our championship competitors. There's opportunities here to try to play some strategy here. Maybe we see someone make that risky call coming down pit road. Maybe we see everyone stay out. Maybe people took tires, people didn't take tires, trying to hold on to an extra set here for later in this race. And that extra set back behind pit wall could be a winning move, especially with a bunch of late race caution flags that could be on the horizon. As Matthew Wood holds serve and in front, a 1.2 second gap now between himself and that 37 of Evan Stewart, as Wyatt Mickelson trying to hold on to that third position himself here, but he's reeling in our second place driver. Is right there in front of him is Evan Stewart, as we see Nick Biddy and Xavier Rungelbrugge right there in the battle as well. As Ramrod says, my son, number 17, will be 26 on Wednesday. Happy birthday on the 15th to Jason Bogart. Happy early birthday to Bogart as well. So Bogart is a October 15th birthday. I'm October 13th. You know, I like the spookiness. You know, a little Friday the 13th action. I like that. I like that for the Friday the 13th. It brings that extra little bit of spookiness in, especially when it falls on a October Friday the 13th, man. That makes it so much better. That makes it so much better. Unfortunately, this year, it is on the Monday, and of course, that is Canadian Thanksgiving. I have to always celebrate my birthday on Canadian Thanksgiving, unfortunately. Unfortunately, for me, being a Canadian, this is the Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, and it's always on this weekend, every single time. Growing up, I didn't really get to have a lot of birthday parties or any birthday parties or anything at all because it was always on Thanksgiving. Everyone was always doing Thanksgiving stuff, so I could never really have birthday parties. And every year for my birthday, it was more or less going to family dinner for Thanksgiving. And, you know, it kind of took away from my birthday. Kind of sucked a little bit. Kind of sucked always having, you know, my birthday kind of on the back shelf compared to, you know, being, you know, Thanksgiving and everything else. So that one kind of sucked. But, I mean, I do like being an October baby. You know, it's pretty nice. Pretty nice. Mrs. Rocco Broggy says, happy birthday, Peace. I appreciate that. Antoinette coming in, showing the love. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I feel like I am, but maybe I'm not. But Mrs. Rocco Broggy, nonetheless, I appreciate that. Showing the love. Wishing me a happy birthday here this evening as well. As Matthew continues to lead the way here. The laps are clicking down, and we're inching closer and closer to the end of stage number 2. But the battle is really still on back here for this third position. Wyatt Mickelson's trying to hang on to it. Nick Biddy, Xavier Rungelbrugge trying to take it away from him here, and you see that 37. That is Evan Stewart. He's not too far away from getting himself into this gangle of cars and into the chaos back here behind him. Is a big run down and out of corner number 4 for that 32 ride, as we do see Mr. Biddy back up and into third here. Mickelson slides back into fourth late in this run. These drivers, they know it's going to come right down to the wire on who can try to pick up these extra points, especially when it comes to our championship. And for the 51 ride of Mickelson, now you'll see that 5 ride of Zay. Rungelbrugge gets around him. Here comes the 7 of Caden Gargiulo making a late charge here at the end of this stage. Applegate's right there as well, as we do see the 7 bouncing off the fence right there. That's a big hit there for that 7 ride, but unfortunately for Wyatt Mickelson, late in this stage continues to fall farther and farther back there in 7th. As out in front, it's all Matthew Wood, our champion here on the season, continuing to lead the way as this is all cheers and happy birthdays to all the October babies. You know it, Mrs. Holler. You know it, man. And October babies, I mean, I'm not going to be too biased, but I would say we're pretty much the best, okay? I'm not going to lie. We're pretty much the best. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. That means we were, 9 months before October is what, virtually January, maybe early February. You know, there's a special thing that happens early February, and, you know, kind of 8-9 months later kind of falls into October there. So, you know, that could be it. I don't know if I'm a midwinter baby there in January, or if maybe it was a little Valentine's Day action for my parents, but nonetheless, you know, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be alive. As here we go. Caution flag will fly as stage number 2 will come to an end. It's Matthew Wood who picks up stage win number 1 and stage win number 2 here this evening. Nick Biddy will come home in second with, I do believe, it may be Evan Stewart. It may be the 5 right of Ruggle Bruggy. Looks like Zay will pick up position number 3 here in this stage. Evan Stewart will come home in 4th with Caden Gargiulo. We're going to go our top 5 here, all earning stage points this evening. Applegate back there in 6th with Noah Blackwell, Wyatt Mickelson, Keegan Huey, and Jason Bogart rounding out our top 10. And then we see Holloman, Haller, Jaden Porter, our top 13. For Joe David, Joe is going to earn the lucky dog here again, and this should get the 6th ride back onto the lead lap. A great break right there for Joe David, and that will put him back on the lead lap here this evening. As Mrs. Haller says, Ryan, the 9th of October, a couple days ago. Congrats, Matt. Yeah, congrats to Matthew Wood there. Big stage win here, winning both stages already. Already is our champion, but he is not slowing down one little bit. He doesn't want to let any of these other drivers steal any of the you know, pride or anything away from his championship. But yeah, absolutely amazing October birthdays. And man, it's crazy, man. I turn 31 tomorrow. I feel like 31 was a man, I feel like 21 was not that long ago. You know, 21 was you know, I was just a wee little baby, but that wasn't you know, it was 10 years ago tomorrow, but it doesn't really feel like it was, chat. 21. I mean, luckily enough here in Canada, you know, we do all of our wild partying when we're teenagers, and then obviously 19, but we turn legal drinking age and everything else. Not quite like the U.S. We're going to be 21, as we do see everyone come back down pit side here. So we got a lot of our partying out of our system when we were very, very young. I'm a whole lot more homebody now and just sit at home, not really do much. Or if we go out, all my friends have kids and wives and everything else now, so it's not like we go out partying. You know, we have dinner and maybe a drink or two, and that's it for the night. So no major parties here for my birthday, that is for certain. But we do see Matthew Wood down pit road. We'll see if they can beat him off pit line. It looks like he'll hold serve. I don't know, it'll be a tight race there with Nick Biddy. Biddy may have had a bit better of a pit stop right there. He may be in control here for this restart. Matthew Wood may have slid back there to second. Evan Stewart holds on to third with Zay back there in 4th, Mickelson in 5th, Applegate, Bogart, Caleb Holloman, our top 8 with Blackwell back into 9th, and Caden Gargiulo will round out our top 10, getting ready to go back to Green Flag Racing. For Haller, he'll be there in 11th, and then we do see Jaden Porter down pit side, still trying to get more repairs done to this car. Joe David, who was able to get back on the lead lap here, those stage breaks really helped out this 6th ride, got him back into the battle, back into the action here this evening. Jaden Porter still getting that car fixed up. Keegan Huey rolls back out there, that Klein Tools number 38 ride. As we'll get them all stacked up, racked up, ready to go back to Green Flag Racing here in just a couple more moments. The battling about to commence once again this evening for each and every one of these drivers. To try and find their way up and into victory lane is going to be a tough challenge. But for Nick Biddy, he's looked really, really strong so far in this race. He has done a fantastic job keeping that 32 ride right in the mix, even after getting tied up and being a part of one of those early caution flags where we saw him get absolutely tore up. You know, contact between him and Jordan Fisher. They spun out going up into the outside fence there and making hard contact with Jason Bogart and the 6th ride of Joe David. Now, for a couple of these guys, they were able to hold serve and keep themselves in the battle. When you look at the 17 of Bogart, you look at the 32. The 19 Ryan took his car back down behind pit wall after that contact for Joe David. He had to tow that car back down pit road, and unfortunately for him, he ended up going a couple laps down, but still very much in this battle. As Nick Biddy out in front, he'll get ready for the restart. He'll get ready to try to keep all these drivers back there at bay as the stages are done. This is a race to the checkered flag now for each and every one of these drivers. They're hoping to find their way. They're hoping to find their ticket into the top spot here this evening as we're just over halfway in, halfway to go here in this feature event. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, make sure you guys hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, become part of the PeaceMaker family here today. As here we go, back to battle in a great launch there for Nick Biddy. As Biddy gets a perfect restart, opens up a couple car length lead down into corner number 1 is Matthew Wood right there in tow. Wood trying to hang with them, not letting this 32 Ryan extend his eyesight here, trying to get a big run down the back straightaway, hoping to reel him in, hoping to get back to the rear bumper of that 32 machine. Evan Stewart right there in the mix. Here comes that 14 Ryan as the Finley Farms machine launches up the racetrack. That is Applegate right there into the mix. There's the plush machine, the fine bride of Xavier Rago-Brugge, still very much in this battle, still duking it out here this evening as Mickelson and Bogart right there behind him. The 18 of Noah Blackwell back there in that 8th position with Caleb Holman routing out our top 9. Joe David has already raced his way around Kaden Gargiulo, Ryan Haller, Jaden Porter, and Keegan Huey. So for the 6th Ryan, able to make a few moves here on that restart. He finds himself now inside the top 10. So goes from 2 laps down, back to 1 lap down, back to the lead lap, and now inside the top 10 and looking to try to keep on clicking him off here as he looks to the outside of Noah Blackwell, trying to put himself into that 9th position. Gets a great run down out of corner number 2, looking to clear that 18 machine, and it looks like he will get the job done. So Joe David now into position number 9 out there on the speedways. Nick Biddy continues to lead this race, but last time around, quickest car out there on the racetrack was this 57 of Applegate as Grant works his way up and into second. Not only was he quickest there on that last lap, he was also the fastest lap of this race, laying down a blazing fast lap time. Now holds the quickest lap over everybody out there on the speedway, and it looks like for the 14 Ryan, he is on the throttle here quickly this evening, trying to navigate his way to the point, trying to put himself out in front as he battles down to the inside of the 32 and Nick Biddy. So Biddy and Applegate door to door here at the front of the field is the 14 Ryan, looking for a big run on the exit of corner number 2, and it is Grant Applegate who puts himself out in front and now to the point here this evening. So it's Grant Applegate who has the race lead, is down across the line. They will complete lap number 74 here this evening. So 74 laps completed. It is 60 laps left to go here tonight. 60 laps left to duke it out here in this one. Does anyone have anything for Applegate? Do we see Nick Biddy, Matthew Wood battle back here later in the run? Or are they thinking more long term? Maybe trying to take it a little bit easier on their equipment, trying to take it easier on their tires, knowing that they could have some big runs, some big drives here later on, especially if we see a number of green flag laps out there on the speedway that could open up the door for them to try to make some late charges here before what could be our one and only green flag pit stops here. Drivers should be able to make it somewhere around 30 to 35 laps on a tank of fuel. That will put them back down pit road somewhere around lap number 100. They should be good to go from that point on. So I think that's a number that everyone is trying to get to. Everyone wants to try to hit is probably somewhere right around lap 100, maybe 101, 102. Give themselves that extra little bit of fuel. That way they know that if there are some late race caution flags, if we do head to NASCAR overtime here this evening, that they should get the benefit of the doubt. They should get that extra little bit of drive and work themselves potentially into a good finish where they only have to make that one incomplete pit stop. And if there is late race caution flags, you pit too early, you don't have enough for a NASCAR overtime attempt. Potentially that makes you forced to give up any track position that you may have had out there on the speedway to come down pit road to give up all of that track position and put yourself down on pit road as Applegate continues to lead the way. Nick Binney hanging right there with them. So isn't Matthew Wood. They're not backing down. They're not giving an inch out there on the Speedway. See Zay not too far away from that three-car battle for the race lead as he'll look to poke his nose into that fight as Applegate now has that 32 back down to his inside. Here comes Nick Binney back to the front. Binney looking to make some moves, hoping to work this 32 ride to the point this evening as he is not going to back down here in this one, man. Some great racing action. These guys putting together some absolutely amazing battles out there on the Speedway, putting together some absolutely great racing action, man. This has been a lot of fun. They've been really putting together some great action, some great laps, some great battles, and I think we're nowhere close to being done. There's still a lot of laps left to go, still a lot of opportunities to move forward, to move backwards, to have some issues, or to try to battle back out there on the Speedway. So we'll have to wait and see who can make these moves, who can put themselves into a position so they can work themselves into a better spot out there on the Speedway. As right now, it is Matthew Wood who's able to make the moves. He's able to slice and dice his way through them, and it's Matthew Wood who jumps back out in front of the field. Matthew back out in front, has this race lead once again, slides the 32 of Nick Binney back to second as he'll continue to battle door to door here at that Finley Farms 14 of Grant Applegate. It is now 80 laps completed here in this race. We're getting down to the nitty-gritty here in a quick hurry, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be done before we know it, and for Matthew Wood, he's just hoping to run away with it and try to win his 15th race of the season and cement himself even more as our champion here on the year, as he is already locked in as our champion. He didn't even have to show up here tonight. He didn't have to show up next Sunday for our season finale, but here in the penultimate race, the 16 ride, still wants to get out there, still wants to win races, still wants to put himself up and into the winner's circle here this evening as Matthew Wood, nice and easy, down in the back straightaway into corner number 2, trying to open up a bit of a gap between himself and Applegate, as we did see Applegate straight up against the outside fence. That will allow Nick Binney to fully clear that 14 ride and give himself that second position as Xavier rolling right there in fourth. Wait and see if Zay has anything for these guys. Zay's been looking really fast out there on the Speedway. We saw him battling for the race lead early on here this evening. Has he been trying to take it a little bit easier, knowing that this is going to be a longer run? Maybe just trying to bide his time, let these guys in front of him burn their equipment up and allow him to just make these moves a little later in the race rather than giving it all up right now and trying to race with them and virtually burn his tires up before he may want to. So all this strategy coming into play through this evening. We do see Wyatt Mickelson rounding out our top 5. They're in that 5th position. Evan Stewart there in 6th. Kanan Gargiulo back in 7th with Noah Blackwell in 8th. Caleb Holloman and Jason Bogart, a pair of 1776 Motorsports rides, rounding out our top 10. Haller, Joe David, Keegan Huey, Jaden Porter, and the 19 of Jordan Fisher rounding out our field as Matthew Wood down across the line will complete lap number 84. We get 50 laps of racing action left to go here this evening. 50 laps left to duke it out here in this one. As ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you guys are just tuning in, make sure you guys do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button, hit that gosh heckin' like button, share it out to your friends, your family, and everybody else as we're going to get ready to crank it up here on PeaceMaker Gaming. Crank up that volume and cheer on your favorite drivers here this evening with the Wheel to Wheel Racing League as Matthew Wood continues to hold on to the top spot. Now what in the fuck, Rodney Stewart, are you kidding me? Rodney coming in, setting it off here in this one, just as we're about to go to crank it up, comes in with a $20 bomb here in this one. What in the world? Rodney Stewart coming in, showing the big love here in this one. Says, I'm missing all of the chat excitement because of work. Oh no, Rodney, no. It's okay, brother, it's okay. He says, just got great. Happy birthday, brother Rodney. I appreciate that, man, coming in with a $20 donation here this evening. Wishing you a happy birthday, brother. I appreciate that. I hope that work is going good for you, going smooth for you, and hopefully you get more opportunities to tune in and watch these drivers duke it out because they've been putting on an absolutely amazing show for us here this evening. And ladies and gentlemen, right now, I want you guys to jump into the comment section. If you guys are watching, if you guys are cheering and putting on this evening, jump into the comment section right now. And let's get a hashtag Ronnie in the chat. Shout out Mr. Ronnie here with the $20 donation for this evening. Absolutely insane, my man. Absolutely wild. I can't thank you enough for that, coming in with the $20 dono here this evening. As we will jump into our PeaceMaker gaming, break it up, and Matthew Wood, who's still out in front, continuing to lead the way. Motor Speedway. As out in front, it is still Matthew Wood who was leading this race. But for Matthew, he is now parked down pit road in that 16 wide as he is getting his fuel in service here, potentially their final pit stop of the day during the green flag conditions here in this one. So Matthew hits pit road on lap 101. We did see Wyatt Mickelson come down the lap later. We see a few other drivers looking to extend it here. Keegan Huey staying out, Caleb Holloman staying out a little longer. We do see Jason Bogart also not going down pit road at this moment in time. We do see Ryan Mickelson, Ryan Haller, Jaden Porter now finally coming down pit road here. So it's 3 cars left to still come down pit side, and a few drivers able to get down pit road a little bit quicker as it's a tight battle here at the front of the field. Drivers rolling back out there. It's Caden Gargiulo who came down pit road on lap 100. He's able to work himself up and into what could be position number 2 out there on the speedway. Evan Stewart right there with them. Comes out in third. Applegate, though, has the race lead. Matthew Wood falls back into what will be the 4th position. The 32 of Nick Biddy, the 51 ride of Wyatt Mickelson, who stayed out for an extra lap or 2 there. Looks like he's going to lose a couple spots. Now look out, the 37 ride of Evan Stewart goes for a slide. No yellow flag as of yet. We'll see if he keeps it rolling. Looks like he will. So no yellow flag right there. Tough break there for the AG Designs number 37 ride as Evan Stewart goes for a slide here down the back straightaway. Let's take a look and see what happens here. Is maybe some contact down and out of corner number 2. Tight racing here, and it looks like potentially our champion getting a piece of him here. This is Matthew Wood right on his back bumper, and here we go. Oh no, just looks like it's loose on corner exit. Rear end kicks out and around on him, gets sideways. Luckily enough, able to lock it down, avoid any major contact into the inside fence. Keeps it rolling, no yellow flag, and unfortunately just gives up a ton of track position out there on the speedway. Now we do still have a couple drivers left to pit here. We do see Caleb Holloman finally heading down pit road, but for Jason Bogart gonna take that 1776 Motorsports ride a little while longer to make his way down pit side. Now he's giving up a lot of time, a lot of track time right now on this front half of this run. So everyone else that's back behind him, Applegate, Gargiulo, all these guys, they are carrying a ton of speed. They are making some very, very quick lap times. They're almost 2 seconds quicker than Jason Bogart. So he's going to give up a lot of time here on the front half of this run. But coming down pit road, virtually 5 laps, 5-6 laps later than a lot of these other drivers could mean that he has a better car, better tires here later in this run. Obviously, he was trying to catch a caution flag, hoping that that would work out for him. That's not going to quite go his way. But if he does see a yellow flag with fresh tires here, it could put him into the catbird seat. As there we go, you do see Applegate able to navigate his way back around the 17 ride. That will move Mr. Applegate out in front. He's now our race leader as Matthew Wood sits there in position number 2. It's Caden Gargiulo back into position number 3. Nick Biddy there in 4th with Noah Blackwell rounding out our top 5. Zay there in 6th. Good pit stop there for the young lad. Obviously not getting a black flag, not hindering his own chances here this evening. So that's a great break there for the number 5 machine this evening. Is Wyatt Mickelson back in 7th. Keegan Huey there in 8th. Joe David back in 9th, and Caleb Holloman will round out our top 10. Now for Holloman, he rolls in that 10th position. He does have quite a bit fresher tires than a lot of these drivers in front of him. Even when you look up at Wyatt Mickelson, Mickelson came down pit road either the lap after a lot of these drivers or 2 laps after a lot of these cats, so he could potentially have much better tires than a lot of the drivers here in front of him. And later in this run, that lap or 2 can make a huge difference on tire fall off and can really help this 51 of Wyatt Mickelson navigate his way a little closer to the front of the field. As Applegate rolls there in the top spot, though, looking to try to hang on and hold off. Matthew Wood is Matthew, looking for his 15th win on the season here in our penultimate race of the season. So our penultimate race quickly winding down, coming to a end here not too long from now. As they will leave down across the line, they will click off lap number 109, and we see only 25 laps left to go here in this one. So 25 laps left to duke it out here in our penultimate race of the season. Is Matthew Wood chasing down Grant Applegate here for the race lead and potentially the race win here this evening. And Sure Holler says, move it on up number 23 and 51, cheering on Haller and Mickelson here this evening. Anna says, get him, Matthew, cheering on Mr. Wood here this evening. And Matthew definitely trying to close that gap, trying to reel in Applegate. Now they both came down pit road on lap 101, so just a better pit stop there for that 14 ride of Grant Applegate, but potentially maybe not getting as much fuel into that ride is what Matthew Wood was able to do. If Matthew stayed down pit road for maybe a second longer, even a half a second longer, that could have been the difference between giving up this race lead. And for Applegate, maybe leaving that little bit too early could bring fuel mileage into the question mark for that 14 ride, as he was able to leapfrog Matthew Wood and the 32 and Nick Biddy and a couple of these other drivers to work himself back out in front. So we'll have to wait and see as Matthew looks to try to reel him in. They're starting to actually pull away from that 7 ride of Caden Gargiulo as Caden rolls there in position number 3. Nick Biddy right there in 4th. Noah Blackwell trying to hang on to the 5th position as he sees that 5 ride, the flush machine of Xavier Ruggle-Brugge. Xavier starting to reel in that 18 ride, starting to work his way back up towards the top 5 here this evening. Now for Zay, he was down pit road on lap 101, so he does have that 1 lap better tire than Blackwell, Biddy, and Caden Gargiulo. So late in this race, that could really help him work him up inside the top 3 here this evening for Wyatt Mickelson, who's trying to hunt them all down here. He's got about a lap or 2 laps better than all the drivers here in front of him. For the 38 of Keegan Huey a little farther back here. Unfortunately for Huey, I think the gap is too big for him to try to catch up and reel in Wyatt Mickelson and the rest of our top 5, top 10 out there on the racetrack. Biting a caution flag though, he does have that extra fuel, that extra little bit of tire. Same with Caleb Holloman, who was down pit road on lap 105. The car I really want to look at though is the 17 ride of Jason Bogart. For Bogart, he's almost a lap down here. That's a tough break. The whole front straightaway away as you do see Matthew Wood starting to make that move, trying to take that race lead back away from Applegate. But for Bogart, he came down as the last driver to hit pit road. Now he is carrying a lot of speed. He is probably the fastest car out there on the racetrack. Unfortunately for Jason Bogart, he had given up so much time there that he's going to have to try to reel them in, hope that they really start to fall off here in a quick hurry, or he can use those, 5-6 lap better tires to his advantage and start to reel in a lot of these other drivers in front of him. Same with Caleb Holloman. Really needs some other drivers to start to struggle to try to work his way up towards the front, as we do see Ryan Haller just in front of Evan Stewart. Stewart, unfortunately, back there in that 12th position. Not the run that I think Evan Stewart really had planned or hoped for here this evening. Not the best pit stop there for him. He was already struggling, and now it looks like for the 37 ride, those struggles may continue as he slides back now into that 12th position on the Speedway. May need that late race caution flag to give him an opportunity here this evening, as we do see Matthew Wood jumps up, takes that race lead away from Applegate. So Applegate back into second. Can he make a charge here? Can he get back to that 16 ride and duke it out here with Matthew Wood for the race win here this evening? Heck of a performance so far for Caden Gargiulo, as Gargiulo rolls there in that 3rd position. Biddy right there in position number 4. He'll continue to look for more as Zay now into that 5th position. So Xavier able to work his way around Noah Blackwell. Blackwell slides back into position number 6 as here comes Mickelson, trying to reel him and the rest of these guys down, trying to catch up to all of them, hoping to try to work his way up inside the top 5 or maybe inside the top 3 here this evening, or compete for the race win out there on the Speedway, as he's right now back in that 7th position, but reeling in that 18 ride in a quick hurry, as he's still about 2.8 seconds back of our race leader for Matthew Wood. He's clicking these laps up in a quick hurry as the 16 ride backed out across the line. He'll complete lap number 118 here this evening. So 118 laps completed, only 16 laps left to go. 16 laps left to duke it out, ladies and gentlemen. Boys and girls, make sure you guys hit that gosh-heckin' like button on the stream right now. Hit that subscribe button and turn those bell notifications on. That way you never miss it when we go live here on PeaceMaker Gaming. That way you never miss any of the green flag racing here in these broadcasts. And right now, the 16 rider Matthew Wood looking to extend his points lead. He's already locked in as that champion here on the season. But for the 16 machine, if he can win another race, it brings in the opportunity that if he can win next Sunday in our season race, our championship race for the 16 rider Matthew Wood, he could compete and battle for potentially his 16th win out of 30 races here on the season. That just is a true testament of how good and how strong that this 16 machine ride has been each and every single week out there on the Speedway. As he continues to lead the way, you do see Applegate hanging kind of right there with him. Now, I'm not sure if this is Matthew, maybe just trying to hold his own here, maybe just trying to keep himself somewhat in this battle, somewhat in, trying to save a little bit, maybe trying to conserve some tire here for late in this race and not just pulling away instantly from that 14 ride and maybe just trying to manage the gap. Or potentially do we see Matthew Wood may start to struggle here a little bit? Maybe Applegate starting to feel a little bit more confident behind the wheel and he's looking pretty strong. Maybe he's got something left in the tank for late in this race to try and steal this lead back away from Matthew Wood and maybe put himself up and into the winner's circle here in our penultimate race of the season. We do see Wyatt Mickelson around Noah Blackwell. He's now moved up into that 6th position and he does have a lap or 2 lap better tires than all the drivers here in front of him. So for Wyatt Mickelson, if he can use that extra little bit of tire, that extra little bit of speed to his advantage, does he have something up his sleeve that he can maybe make some moves here and work himself up and onto the podium here this evening? You see Zay riding that outside wall, rolling the high side, carrying all the speed and momentum, getting big runs down the straightaways as you do see Nick Biddy has worked his way around Caden Gargiulo, but here comes Xavier right down to the inside. Zay works himself underneath of Caden. Caden up the racetrack. He ends up scraping the outside fence. That'll kill a lot of speed and momentum for him. That will bring Wyatt Mickelson right down to his inside. Looks like Wyatt will work his way back inside the top 5 as Caden Gargiulo will slide back into that 6th position out there on the Speedway. Blackwell there in 7th. Keegan Huey back in 8th. Caleb Holloman and Joe David still rounding out our top 10 is Ryan Haller right there in 11th. With Evan Stewart back there in 12th. Jason Bogart rolls in 13th with Jaden Porter back there in that 14th position. Jordan Fisher rounding up the field back there in 15th. But for Matthew Wood down across the line, it'll be 10 laps left to go. 10 laps left here to duke it out from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Someone will put themselves into the Sin City victory lane as they look to cash in and hit the jackpot here this evening. Who will have the perfect roll of the die? Who will hit the 21 here on the blackjack table and cash in here this evening with a checkered flag in Sin City? As down across the line, it's 9 laps left here for Matthew Wood. Now he's starting to pull a little bit farther away from Applegate as Applegate trying to stay with them, trying to hang with them. Unfortunately, looks like that car might be starting to fall off a little bit more than he was hoping for. As here comes Nick Biddy, here comes Xavier Rongo-Bronchi, and that 51 of Wyatt Mickelson inside the top 5. Can Wyatt make some late race moves? Can he find his way potentially around this 5 run, maybe around the 32 and Nick Biddy, and put himself back up onto the podium here late in this season as he's got the 5 and 32 right there in front of him. He does have at least a lap better tires on that car than he does over Xavier, and 2 lap better tires than Nick Biddy. So we'll have to wait and see if Biddy can hang on to it, keep this car rolling here in 3rd, and pick up another solid race, another solid podium here for that 32 ride. As out in front, it's still Matthew Wood. Wood, nice and easy, just continuing his dominance here in the season, continuing his dominance here in the wheel-to-wheel racing league as he clicks up another lap as down across the line. It is only 7 laps left to go here in this one. 7 laps left here in this. As Anna says, "You got this, Matthew." Cheering on Mr. Wood, saying, he's got it. I don't know. It's not over until it's over, and anything can happen. A late race caution flag could really throw a wrench into this feature event. If there are some issues, if there is some problems, potentially we could see, some late race pit stops. I know a lot of drivers may have some tires back there behind pit wall. They would love to put them on and try to run this out as a short run here to the checkered flag, where Matthew Wood may not have the handling car for that late run battle. We'll have to wait and see. We do see Wyatt Mickelson and Zay battling door to door. This is for position number 4 out there on the Speedway. Zay trying to hold on to it. Mickelson trying to take it away, trying to work himself up and into that 4th position as the plush number 5 ride trying to hang on on to that fourth spot here late in the race as they'll battle back down and across the line. It's only 5 laps left to go, and for Matthew Wood, he's opened up about a 7/10 of a second lead. 7/10 between himself and Grant Applegate here in this one, as each driver hoping to try to find their way up and into victory lane here this evening, as Matthew sends it down hard into corner number 3. Nice and easy out of corner number 4. I don't believe any lap traffic will really play a hand at it. We see this 74 ride just on the front straightaway. He sends it down into corner number 1. Our race leaders are about half a straightaway behind him, but with 4 laps left to go, I'm not sure they will catch up to that number 74 ride of Jaden Porter. So for Porter, he should be able to stay on the lead lap. For Matthew Wood, shouldn't have to worry about lap traffic. He just has to hit his marks, not make any mistakes, and not open up the door here for Applegate to get around him, as we do see Wyatt Mickelson has been able to take over position number 4 from Xavier Rungle-Brungy. Xavier falls back in the 5th here, but now for the 51 in the closing laps. Does he have anything left in the tank? Can he work his way back up and around this 32 of Nick Biddy? Is going to come right down to the wire here, I think, for each of these drivers, as Matthew Wood scrapes the wall right there. That may bring in that 14 ride of Applegate a little bit closer to his back bumper. The gap is less than 0.6 of a second now. So for Applegate, he has closed in ever so slightly on Matthew Wood. Matthew just got to be picture perfect here, as down across the line, it's only 2 laps left to go here this evening. 2 more laps left to duke it out for Matthew Wood and Grant Applegate as they battle out there on the Speedway for the race win here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway in our penultimate race of the season for the always amazing wheel-to-wheel racing league. Is Matthew heads down into corner number 3. Nice and easy down and out of corner number 4. A drag race back to the start-finish line, and this is exactly what he wants to see. The white flag has been displayed one more time around here for Matthew Wood to try and capture another checker flag here on the season. As Matthew knows, he's got about 0.4 of a second between himself and Applegate. Can Applegate get there? He's going to have one more opportunity as down the back straightaway for a penultimate race of the season. Matthew Wood will lead us into 3. Applegate sends it in there deep. He will not get there as he washes up the racetrack. It's the 16 of Matthew Wood who will pick up another win here on the season, as he'll cash in and win the checker flag in the jackpot here this evening from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It's Matthew Wood who picks up the dub here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for our season champion and our race winner here in our second to last race, the penultimate race of the season. It's Matthew Wood who gets it done here again. Applegate comes home in second. Nick Biddy there in third. Wyatt Mickelson and Xavier Rungle-Brungy will round out our top 5. Let's see some congratulations in the chat right now. Not only for Matthew Wood, but let's see some congrats here for the rest of our top 5, the rest of our top 10, as they put together an absolutely amazing race for us here this evening. And now Applegate going to give a shot there to the 16 ride, and now Matthew Wood will get ready to celebrate a big win here this evening at the beautiful Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for Mr. Wood. What a run and what a drive here in this one. As Jesse Biddy says, way to go, babe, cheering on Nick Biddy here this evening. Nick doing a great job hanging on to that 3rd spot here late in this race, man. What a run, what a performance there for that 32 machine as well, but no one better than this 16 ride of Matthew Wood. Now, one driver that may not be too happy about him being up in victory lane was that 18 ride of Noah Blackwell. We saw the contact between Blackwell and Wood at the end of stage number 1 here this evening. They got time together and put the 18 right up and into the outside fence, but for Matthew Wood, looks like he's going to celebrate here with that 18 right. No harm, no foul. They both end up with a very solid run, a very solid race, and it's Matthew Wood who finds his way up and into victory lane. We'll get ready to pull him and the rest of our top 3 up and into the booth for their post-race interviews. Hey Matthew, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Do you have a copy?
Hello.
Matthew, man, what a run, what a drive for you here this evening as you're able to park that 16 ride up and into victory lane once again this season. I do believe your 15th win now on the season and extending your points lead. You already had the championship locked up, but man, what a steam in here, trying to make sure that everyone knows that you're the rightful champion here and winning another race to not even finish off the season. Still got one more to go, in the dream for that 16 wins for the 16 car still very much a possibility.
Yeah, we definitely had a fast car tonight. I felt comfortable more than anyway I thought I would, but yeah, the incident with Noah, I thought, I even lifted off. He slide jobbed me up the track, and then I tried to cross him over. I didn't expect him to come down. Granted, I should have lifted more, but then with Evan, I just kind of, from my angle, he bounced off the apron, and I was kind of letting off, trying to stay off of him, and I was going to try to go below him, and then once I got too close, I got in the dirty air and started pushing all the way up the racetrack behind him, and then the arrow just spun him out, and he's not happy, and he has a right to be. We've been good friends for a long time, but just sucks.
Yeah, definitely tough contact there. Obviously battling hard, trying to win that stage, trying to battle there and have some fun later on. And you just kind of came out of corner number 4. It looked like you had a great run there, running that middle lane. Made that contact, obviously, as you hit the back end of the 18. Just got him loose there on corner exit. And that's all she wrote there for the 18 run. But he was able to battle back, able to put himself back into the battle here for the rest of this race. Didn't lose a lap, just had to use that quick repair up early on. And for Noah able to, still finish strong here with a top 6 run.
Yeah, definitely. He had a very strong car tonight. He was absolutely flying for a lot of the time, and I think we would have had a very fun battle had that not happened. And also, when he did come up, I got in the dirty air, so I couldn't really turn down. I know dirty air, but yeah, I saw him coming up, and then I tried to get under him. I lifted, and then it just sent him. But he full throttle to get down the racetrack and not get killed by anybody, so props to him. But again, not my best showing. It's kind of, I can say it's not who I am, but in all reality, you look back, I've done quite a lot of these things, and it's, a lot of people tell me it's just pushing yourself too hard mentally, but I mean, wrecking people is wrecking people, in my opinion, and I've technically done 2 of those, two people tonight, but it is what it is.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a tough one, man, but you're able to hang with it, able to keep on battling, and you still park this 16 ride up and in victory lane nonetheless, as you had a great battle there for a little while, obviously with Applegate late in this race, but you come out of the pit lane here after having the race lead, having a bit of a gap between yourself and our second place driver before those, green flag pit stops, and all of a sudden you come out, you're virtually back in about that 4th position. All of a sudden you got to battle your way around, Caden Gargiulo and Nick Biddy, Applegate there, and then later on you have to really just stay on your A game. After passing Applegate, he hung right there with you for the long time, not really giving you any breathing room. If you made a mistake, he was right there ready to take advantage of it, but luckily enough you're able to just hit your marks, not make really any major mistakes here late in this race to open the door for him to try to steal this one away from you.
Yeah, he put on an absolutely incredible showing. So did Biddy, but again, like always, thank you for doing the incredible job. We got one more race this season, and it's wraps, but it's been a pleasure to have you up here and everybody that's out supported me. And, this championship, I mean, it does mean a lot more than people realize to me. And I don't even care if I get nothing from it. Like, this is going to stick with me for my whole life, mainly just because I've tried to get a championship for so long. I've ran so good for so long, and I've never got a championship. So, but that's not to take away from the other drivers this season, like Fisher, Aiden, Evan, Xavier. They've given me a run for my money, and they should be recognized just as much as I have. I'm the champion, but in all reality, that's just because I've made every race. Had they made every race, I don't think I'd be celebrating a championship right now. But yeah, again, thank the Lord for what He's done for me. My dad was actually back in church for the first time this morning, for the first time in years after his hip surgery. So awesome to see, and just I hope I can get everything settled out with everybody.
Absolutely, brother. Well, obviously, a lot of chance to be had here post-race, but for yourself, you still get to celebrate here in Sin City as you park yourself up and into the Las Vegas Motor Speedway victory lane. Matthew, congrats on the great run, congrats on the amazing race, and congrats again on winning your 15th race on the season, and hopefully we'll see you back out here, maybe trying to win race number 16 in that 16 car next Sunday for our championship race.
All right, thank you, man.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Mr. Matthew Wood as Wood picks up the checkered flag here this evening. Absolutely amazing run, an amazing drive there for that 16 machine. As we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finisher, the 57 of Grant Applegate. Applegate comes home here in position number 2. Let's pull Grant up here into the booth. Hey, Grant, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Grant, man, a solid run, a solid drive for you here this evening. It looked like early on you were just kind of taking it a little bit easy, trying to just hang out a little deeper in the field there. Then later on, you start making some moves. You start racing your way towards the front, and then all of a sudden, here you are battling, duking it out with Matthew Wood late in this race, trying to keep him back there at bay. Unfortunately, he was able to get around you, and you just never really got a good opportunity to get back around him or try to get door to door there with him. We saw you reel into his back bumper a couple of times, just not the run that you needed there late in this race to try to steal the win back away from him.
Yeah, just first half the race, honestly, I didn't have any practice, so I was just kind of running by myself to figure out what would work. Because last time we ran here, it felt like the cars were super edgy, but I think that was on the previous next gen car. So yeah, these cars were stuck in the track, and once I figured out kind of the limit of them, obviously drove through the field a little bit. Then the pit stops happened, and was just waiting for Matthew to pit so that I had a buffer or a way to gauge my pit entry, and I gained some time there. And then I think he missed his box a little bit, so that gave me the lead off of pit road. And then just I had the lead, and I think I got too low and got on the apron while I was leading, and just gave him the lead and screwed it up. So yeah, it was like everybody's tires would kind of heat up, and once everybody's tires got to the max temperature they were going to be at, literally everybody ran the same lap time, so that was fun. But yeah, just don't know what else I could have done, honestly. It was kind of frustrating.
Yeah, absolutely tough there at the end. Not much you could really do except for hang on. Did you have an extra set, though, back there behind pit wall? If we were to see a late race caution flag, was that a possibility to come down pit road, put those tires on, and see if you can work yourself up here to the front of the field?
Yeah, I had a set of tires. Just I don't know. A restart would have been interesting because everybody would have. It would have been insane craziness because the cars were so fast on new tires. It was kind of insane. But yeah, I don't know. It was just the race went how it should have. Matthew won. I got second. I feel like that's probably where my speed was, but always hoping to win, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely. It's never fun being the bridesmaid out there on the Speedway, but Grant, heck of a run, heck of a performance for you here tonight as you're able to park that 57 ride up here in position number 2 after starting all the way back in that 12th position, as you are the hard charger on the night as well here in second, man. Who's like to thank for such a great run and strong performance out there on the racetrack?
Just the admins for giving us, like I said, place to race and have fun. That's what I show up for every week, and had fun as always. We cleaned it up for once. We had like 2 cautions, so that was good. But yeah, just always enjoy racing with my friends, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's the main thing right there. Jumping out here, having some fun on the simulator, enjoying your Sunday afternoon, and just having some good, hard racing with no major drama or issues or anything else. Just a good smile on your face and a good way to pass some time here on a Sunday night before the work week gets underway tomorrow morning. But Grant, heck of a run, heck of a drive for you, man. Hopefully we'll see you back out here for our season finale next Sunday and see if you can try to, be one spot better and maybe keep that 16 ride of Matthew Wood out of victory lane.
So we'll see what happens.
Eddie Grant, enjoy the rest of your night, brother. Enjoy the rest of your week, and hopefully we'll see you back up here.
Hopefully. We'll see you next week.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for the second place finisher, the 57 of Grant Applegate. Applegate comes home here in position number 2. Solid run, solid drive there for that 57 ride. As we'll get ready now to pull in our third place finisher, the 32 of Nick Biddy. As Biddy comes home here in that third position. Let's get Nick up here into the booth. Hey, Nick, it's Aaron up here in the PeaceMaker broadcasting booth. Do you get a copy?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear, bud.
Nick, man, solid run. Great drive for you here tonight. Take us back through this one. Obviously, early on, some contact there between you and Jordan Fisher. Sent you for a while ride. Obviously, some heavy hits there as you wash back up onto the corner 1 wall area, and you get ran over by the 17 of Bogart, the 6 rider Joe David. Honestly, that early contact and damage, you lose all that track position, and obviously you have to use that quick repair up early in this race, but you're able to stay with it and battle back, race your way up here into a solid podium run this evening. Take us back through what's going through your mind right now as the smoke settles here in Las Vegas.
Yeah, man, that was a pretty fun little race. I like the green flags runs. I kind of used up my stuff on that last pit stop, trying to get back to Wood and Applegate, and got about, I don't know what, 2.5 seconds from them, and that was about it. The thing with Fisher, I'm not real sure. If you go below that white line, it's only the person that goes below the white lines to emerge back into traffic, right? I mean, so I'm not real sure what his thought was there, but it looked like just like a left rear hook to me. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's the way I saw it.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely would have felt that way. Definitely may have looked that way. Obviously, cutting down through that apron, trying to cut the course there and shave off a little bit of time. I think maybe he was just trying to get in behind you and just miscalculated. Thought maybe
he misjudged it. That's probably that's probably what happened. He just misjudged it.
Yeah, exactly, because it was very, very tight. It was like half a bumper probably that he clipped you with, but it was all he needed to turn you sideways there. The two of you get hooked together, and then obviously felt bad enough that he parked his car afterwards. Luckily enough, you were able to keep on competing and battling here this evening, and you still park it up here in third, man. It's some tight racing there late in this one. Obviously, after that first wave and only wave of green flag pit stops, you're duking it out with Matthew Wood and Applegate. You throw in obviously, Zay right behind you, Blackwell's there, Caden Gargiulo, and then late in this one, you have Wyatt Mickelson trying to hunt you down, trying to take over that third position, but you're able to hang on to it, man. But take us through some of those tight battles out there on the racetrack.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, it was, it's Las Vegas, so it's very momentum based. So, it seemed like whoever, and I'm sure the other two guys have probably said the same thing, but it seemed like whoever got the clean air was going to run away from everybody else. So, unfortunately for us, it was Wood all night long getting that clean air. So.
Yeah, exactly. Wood just, stretching out his points lead, putting an exclamation mark here on a championship that he had already locked in last Sunday night with another win here in this one. Couldn't even give you guys an opportunity to duke it out and battle for a win here late in the season, and I know he's going to be wanting to pick up another one here. We've done the calculations. He's had 15 wins. We talked about it last week when he won that he's got 14 wins last week. He needed to win the next 2 to try to win 16 races in that 16 car, and I think that's kind of driving him to try to get that goal and try to finish off this season up here in the front of the field.
Yeah, man, he's good, man. I feel like he was probably toying with us a little bit in the regular season. He felt like he was a little bit human, but he's definitely turned it on to a next level here since the playoffs to start. So good for him. Yeah, he's fast.
Yeah, he's very, very fast, and as he said, this is actually his first championship ever here in iRacing. He said that he's made it to a ton of championship races that are more of one race, and you win and you get it done, and now with this one being more of a 10-race old chase style of point standings, it works out perfectly for him because the points continue to accumulate, and he's able to just run his races and not have to worry about that final race and winning that one race to win the championship, because it never seems to go his way.
That's right, man. He's a good racer. Congratulations to him.
Absolutely. But Nick, heck of a run, heck of a drive here for yourself as you park that 32 ride here in the third position. Another great podium and another great race for yourself here on the season and our penultimate race here tonight. Nick, who would you like to thank for another solid run and solid drive out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that. Appreciate my wife. I'm sure you guys were talking to Jesse and Cora tonight. Appreciate those guys watching, and appreciate my team. Joe, we had Joe, David tonight. The rest of us, I guess, are on vacation or having a little fall break. So appreciate those guys for supporting us when they can. So that's about it for me.
Well, Nick, heck of a run, heck of a drive, brother. Hopefully we get one more chance to get you up here into the booth next Sunday in our season finale, and maybe a couple spots better, maybe up into victory lane to finish off the season for you.
Hey, that'd be nice.
Absolutely, brother. Enjoy the rest of your night.
All right, we'll see you.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for Nick Biddy as Biddy comes home in position number 3. Solid run, solid drive there for the 32 ride as he comes home and rounds out our podium here this evening. Unfortunately, that will do it for us. All the racing action has come to a close, but we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares, man. We appreciate each and every single one of you guys for tuning in and showing the love all night long. We appreciate you guys and can't wait to see you guys back up here into the booth. Now, we may be off tomorrow as it is my birthday, so we may be doing some birthday festivities for myself, in which case may in turn, all depends on how late I work tomorrow, how much work I do tomorrow. Potentially, we may end up doing a little broadcast later on in the evening, maybe just hopping on, doing some Call of Duty or something, having some fun playing some other games and just celebrating my birthday. And then honestly, we'll be back up here into the booth on Tuesday. We have our HCK Beagles Truck Series back in action on Tuesday night. So we'll be back up here in the booth on Tuesdays. We'll get to watch and enjoy some more amazing racing here on PeaceMaker Gaming, and we can't wait to see you guys hopefully back up in the grandstands to cheer these drivers on Tuesday night. But thank y'all for watching, thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all back here in the next one. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we'll see you guys back here potentially tomorrow for a bit of a birthday stream. Thank y'all for watching, thank y'all for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen, peace and love.
Yeah. Burning rubber, tires screaming, engines go berserk. Pit stop precision like surgeons at work. Wheel to wheel, hands on the grip, no chill. Broadcast live, PeaceMaker keeping it real. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. 360 on the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. PeaceMaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. On the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. PeaceMaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Yeah. From amateurs to legends, it's all the same heat. One wrong move might sweep defeat. High octane stakes climb mile by mile. PeaceMaker's mic hot, adding flames to the style. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. Greasy, the grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. the grind, stay greasy. Yeah. Burning rubber, tires screaming, engines go berserk. Pit stop precision like surgeons at work. Wheel to wheel, hands on the grip, no chill. Broadcast live, PeaceMaker keeping it real. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. 360 on the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. PeaceMaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checkered flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. On the asphalt, danger a flirt. Every lap closer, the tires eating dirt. PeaceMaker's lens, the hype ignites. Streaming the chaos under neon lights. Draft game strong, slingshot out the lane. Calculated risk deep in the veins. Checker flags wave dreams on the brink. Fast decisions where you barely get to blink. Yeah. From amateurs to legends, it's all the same heat. One wrong move might sweep defeat. High octane stakes climb mile by mile. PeaceMaker's mic hot, adding flames to the style. Speed demons on the track, hearts racing with the sound. Slide tight in the curves, sparks flying off the ground. Victory's a beast, it don't come easy. Wheel to wheel racing, the grind stay greasy. Greasy, the grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy. The grind stay greasy.